Mental Health Awareness Month has been observed every May since 1949, which reminds us that mental health is an important part of overall health and well-being. Mental health awareness has been steadily growing around the world, but it's still largely below what it should and could be. It has never been more important than now to recognize that mental health is an essential component of one's overall health and well-being, and that mental illnesses are common and treatable. So in this video, we're going to discuss mental health awareness. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick till the end. Before starting the video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Nearly 450 million people worldwide are currently living with a mental illness, yet nearly 2/3 of people with a known mental illness never seek treatment. From anxiety and depression to OCD and schizophrenia, mental health touches each of us in some way. Mental health issues are also a significant contributor to suicide, which claims the lives of nearly 50,000 people per year in the United States alone. By definition, awareness means having knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. To start raising mental health awareness, you must first consider what mental health means to you and those around you. This first step may seem impossible while a person practices social distancing. However, people can still raise awareness about mental health virtually. According to the American Psychiatric Association, mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of these. Mental illnesses are associated with distress and/or problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. Over the past few years, mental health has grown to become a topic of significant concern globally. People are now more vocal about mental health, which is a positive thing in my view. However, the consequences of mental illness are often still underestimated in comparison to physical diseases. Currently, the public's opinion on mental issues has a negative impact on those dealing with them, but the public has the power to make a positive impact. When people are educated on mental illnesses, their effects, and how often they occur, it lessens the bad rep they have. Mental health is just as important as physical health. In some aspects, it's more important because you can't keep your physical health without a healthy mental capacity. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, NIMH, mental illnesses are commonplace, with nearly 1 in 5 adults in America living with a serious mental illness. 1/2 of all chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14, with 3/4 by the age of 24. An estimated 17.3 million adults in the United States had at least one major depressive episode. An estimated 31.1% of adults will experience an anxiety disorder at some time in their lives. Approximately 7.9 million adults have co-occurring mental health and addiction disorders. According to a 2017 Centers for Disease Control report, suicide was the 10th leading cause of death overall in the United States, claiming the lives of nearly 47,000 people. Suicide was the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 34, and the fourth leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 35 and 54. There were more than twice as many suicides in the United States as there were homicides. A 2012 study from the Institute of Medicine found that nearly 1 in 5 older Americans has one or more mental health or substance use conditions. According to 2018 data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and reported by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, adults in the 75 to 84 and 85 and older age groups are among those with the highest rates of suicide. As mentioned earlier, mental illness is becoming a more popular topic around the world, yet it's still not widely talked about in many workplaces due to the stigma surrounding it. Racism, historic adversity, and race-based exclusion from health, educational, social, and economic resources translate into socioeconomic disparities that have a direct link to mental health issues. While most ethnic and racial minority groups have similar, or in some cases, fewer mental health disorders than whites, ethnic and racial minorities often bear a disproportionately higher degree of disability resulting from mental health disorders. For LGBTQ people, stigma and discrimination are part of what's known as minority stress, can take a terrible toll on mental health. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, LGBTQ individuals are more than twice as likely as their heterosexual peers to suffer from a mental health condition, such as major depression or generalized anxiety disorder, and LGBTQ people are at higher risk than the general population for suicide thoughts and attempts. LGBTQ youth are particularly at risk for negative mental health outcomes. The CDC reports that LGBTQ youth seriously contemplate suicide at almost 3 times the rate of heterosexual youth, and are almost 5 times as likely to have attempted suicide. Lack of information can promote the stigma further, and one way to counter that is by spreading mental health awareness. As employees become more informed, they may begin to understand that mental illness isn't a taboo, changing the way it's talked about. We're social creatures and need to feel seen, included, understood, and accepted. It hurts to feel rejected, ashamed, or judged for what we're struggling with. Unfortunately, the stigma that's often tied to a mental health diagnosis can be a big hurdle in this regard. People self-medicate with drugs or alcohol, they suffer in silence or try to pretend they're okay when they're not. Stigma can be defined as a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. In modern use, the scar is figurative. Stigma most often refers to a set of negative and often unfair beliefs that a society or group of people have about something. Most people who commit suicide have a diagnosable mental disorder, most commonly a depressive disorder or a substance abuse disorder. 4 times as many men than women commit suicide, though women make more attempts, Johns Hopkins Medicine. Anything you can do to raise awareness for mental health is a significant contribution. According to Mental Health America, MHA, 1 in 5 people will experience mental illness during their lifetime. Even with mental illness impacting so many people, there's still a lot of stigmas attached to seeking help or talking about mental health issues. Mental health awareness campaigns are all about destigmatizing mental health issues and starting productive dialogues on mental health issues. Change only happens when people take action, and raising mental health awareness is an important action that almost everyone can take. While openly discussing mental health at the workplace is a big accomplishment, it's not enough in my view. Mental health demands action with awareness. You can make your employees more aware of mental illness, but as an employer, it's also important to take concrete steps to create a better workplace. Like physical illnesses, mental illnesses can affect people of any age and background. Some of the most common forms of mental illness are depression and anxiety, which can affect an employee's performance at work. As a responsible employer, you should not only work on removing the stigma around mental health, but also offer adequate support to employees with mental illness. This can help affected individuals recover more quickly. Routine counseling and the availability of a free-of-cost therapist in the workplace can encourage employees to open up about any issues and manage their mental health more confidently. Most importantly, try to offer extra support to individuals with mental illness during periods of change. It's also crucial to remember that every employee is different, and so their progress will likely differ as well. Employee well-being is important for any business's success. When an organization becomes proactive in ensuring its employees' physical and mental well-being, it can lead to a more healthy workplace where everyone wins. It can be incredibly difficult for an individual to acknowledge that they're in need of treatment for a mental health condition, and even more so to ask for help. Mental health and physical health are intertwined. One can rarely have one without the other. They feed each other. Especially for children, mental health decides how you move throughout the world. It affects how we think, act, and feel about the world around us. If a child has mental health issues that go untreated, it can shape how that child lives the rest of their life. A person's mental health chooses whether they're gonna live a healthy or unhealthy life. Let us know your opinion in the comment section below. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay safe, and we'll be back soon with another video.